everybody, for the biggest show of the year. It is Masters Week. And man, do we have a Masters special for all of you. I mean, somebody trimmed it up a little bit here tonight. And if you can't tell who, it's not me. Somebody really did something special. And I'm talking about that mustache.
I'm talking about the fucking trying to work on Caterpillar as a sponsor here. Okay.
The famous magic carpet ride, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. My goodness gracious. I'm pumped.
What's going on, man?
I'm absolutely pumped for tonight. This is going to be an epic show. It's our Master Special. It's literally the biggest show of the year, I feel like.
The energy's been high since Monday morning at midnight. You know what I mean?
It really has.
Just the whole vibe this week. So
it really is. And Trot Golfer, good evening. Good evening, men. He's going for Keegan. Is that what the mustache is for? Did Trot just hit the nail on the head there?
Not sure what he's referring to, but
so Keegan Bradley has the big stash going.
I think I'm gonna dye it too. I think I'm gonna make it like dark.
You should go black with it.
Yeah, completely fucking just disgusting. Yeah.
JBTN 23. Let's fucking
What
go. Woo. Big show tonight. Absolutely big show. And if you are a new listener, I know we get new listeners, new viewers just about every week. So, and I always find out in my DMs and so forth. They're always like, man, that show was awesome. I'm like, where have you been? We've been around for 3 years now. So anyways, we've got normally within our first 5 minutes, Butsy and I kind of just kick it back and forth a bit. And then from there, we count down, we jump in, we end up hitting that record button, and man, oh man, does that turn into a podcast. So
fucking rock and roll. It's Masters Week, baby.
I'm absolutely pumped. It is Masters Week. I've been so giddy about this episode all week. Ever since, like you said, as soon as it turned midnight on Monday, I was like, it's time. It's go time.
There's got to be a huge uptick in like people taking time off work, like Thursday or Friday, right? Like there's got to be a PTO trend.
PTO productivity levels just absolutely decrease come Thursday. Actually, Wednesday, I would say, with the par 3 tournament. That's always on ESPN. Scott Van Pelt is normally the one doing that. And my goodness, those productivity numbers at work just absolutely head in a downward spiral.
Yes, I believe it.
So the audience is starting to chirp and get on board here.
Look at that shirt, Maddie.
Yeah, Devereaux Golf, folks. I tell you what, man, their journey to Georgia line is just absolutely sick. It is sick. Butsy's got the t-shirt on. You absolutely love to see that. I've got the polo on from the collection. I've got the shorts on too. Butsy's got the yellow ones on. I got the green ones on, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've been wearing all of this gear literally since we picked it up last week, and I have not stopped wearing it.
Fuck no, why would you?
Showed up today, did the walkthrough over at the Goldwater Brewery because
saw that.
We're going to be announcing something here tonight that's going to be going on Saturday. So we're really excited for that as well. But we're about to hit that 5-minute mark. Why don't we go ahead and kick this show off and get it on the road? What do you think, Butsy?
Hit the button.
Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Tonight, we've got the Butsy with us, and we've got the 2025 Masters Special presented by Pull Hook Golf, and we can't wait to dive in tonight because, yes, folks, it is only about the Masters tonight. This is the one episode throughout the year that we don't do recaps. We don't talk about anything else other than the 2025 Masters Tournament.
Masters.
But before we do start this episode and get into everything, we do want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Devereaux Golf. Folks, go to devrogolf.com. Utilize the promo code. I wanted to say Pull Hook Golf, but I got stuck there. The promo code Pull Hook Golf 20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order at devrogolf.com. If you don't know how to spell it, all you got to do is remember DEVEREUX golf.com. Once again, Pull Hook Golf 20 is the promo code for 20% off your entire order. Now, I also want to give a shout out. If you are an audience member, you have heard me say multiple times on this show that I am dealing with the chipping yips. Folks, I got to give a shout out to our guy, Trock Golfer. He is a real person, by the way. I went out to see him, and he is real. I got to meet him in person, and my God, within about 10 minutes, he absolutely not only diagnosed what was going on. I was basically dragging the handle through, holding on, instead of giving it a little bit of a release and keeping it connected to the body throughout the chipping form. And my God, did I start chipping it. Absolutely beautiful. So once again, want to give a shout out to Trock Golfer for absolutely fixing my yipping issues. Now I got to put in the practice, folks, and I got to get that stroke right back in form. But man, things are starting to look up and look good golf game wise. And Butsy, I'm trying to catch up to the Butsy right now because this guy, he is absolutely on fire. He's obviously in the back doing something. I don't know whether he's taking a 5-hour energy or what he's doing back there. Oh, he's got some Zin pouches, basically. He is going to be speaking to the Zin gods tonight on this show. So he's getting fired up. He's ready to go. And my goodness gracious. So yeah, I just had to give that shout out to Trock, give him that little shout out, buddy. Thank you so much for doing that for me and taking a look. And once again, he is a real person. So that is absolutely awesome. Now, like we do with almost all of our episodes, we've got the tee-off report with Butsy, which tonight is the Masters report with Butsy.
Fuck, I forgot about this.
Here we go. You ready? You ready for it? Because
throw it at me.
There's a lot of traditions that go on with the Masters. And a lot of people do the same thing year in and year out. Sometimes they buy that food package from the Masters. I don't know if you've seen that, to where the pimento cheese sandwiches come and you get all the spreads and everything and you get some drink recipes. But not saying that we did that. But I do want to know, Butsy, what's your favorite thing to do during the Masters?
Drink.
That was the fastest reply for a report with Butsy that I have ever seen. The Masters report. You were obviously super excited about that.
Drink. Drink some more. Not till it starts. Probably more towards the weekend because I, do have some responsibility during the week. But fucking absolutely just slug some adult sodies. Fridge is full of pimento cheese and egg salad. So just really like cosplaying this whole fucking thing, like pretending that you're there. A lot of drinking though, for sure.
A lot of drinking, get into the flow state without necessarily being on the golf course. So you like to listen to Jim Nance is what I'm taking, and
absolutely
get into that flow state.
Mm-hmm. But yep, play the little piano music on repeat all throughout the house, in my car, wherever I'm at, and just really just soak the moment up and get dialed in. Maybe cry for 5 or 10 minutes because Tiger's not there, and that makes it tough. But we're gonna have a good one this year. I think it's gonna be fucking nice.
The Achilles with Tiger. Now, a lot of people are saying that the Achilles is a fake deal, that he's just in love, doesn't want to have to play the Masters. What's your take there? Put on your tin cap for a second.
There is no fucking chance in hell that Tiger doesn't want to play in the fucking Masters. Are you kidding me? Like, maybe if he's not ready. If the game's not ready, I could see, falling on that crutch a lot easier than just saying, I just don't think I'm good enough right now. But if he's in shape and he can play, he's going to play the Masters. Like, that's his event. They should name it the Tiger Masters.
The Tiger Masters. It is something. They call it the Tiger Roars when all of a sudden something happens with Tiger and the roars start going throughout Augusta National. Now, I've been there 1 year with Tiger, I believe, was playing in the Masters. I was there 3 years, which over here to my left.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
It's a nice little, well, we'll get to the full screen here in a minute, where you will be able to see what I've got here with the little Augusta National Masters flag signed by Jordan Spieth in 2015. So I was there 2014, 15, and 16. I want to say Tiger played in 16 because I saw him. Lindsey Vonn was his girlfriend at the time, and I was walking right next to Lindsey Vonn out there, going back to 2016. And sure enough, Tiger didn't play the greatest, but there is such thing as a Tiger roar when all of a sudden Tiger does something well out there at Augusta National, and you just hear it through the trees, and it's a pretty cool scene to see. But that being said, you like drinking during the Masters. Have you ever gone to a bar and done like a Masters viewing party or anything like that?
No, I haven't. I understand we might have something like that coming up.
So Saturday's going to be a special one.
Yeah, get into that.
Saturday's going to be special. Buttsies and myself. This is going to be the first time that we are doing a companion podcast live Saturday at Goldwater Brewery for the Devereaux Golf event. Drive Box is going to be out there. If you are here locally in Arizona, it is the spot to be. It is going to be going on from 12 p.m. all the way till 7 p.m. at Goldwater Brewery in Old Town Scottsdale. Botsy and I are going to be there doing a live stream broadcast. So if you're not able to make it or you're not in the state, you can absolutely tune in just like you are now, whether it be on YouTube, Millions.co, X, or Rumble. We're going to be across all of them doing a live companion to the podcast. So you can mute your TV, folks. You know, it hurts my soul to say, go ahead and mute Jim Nance. But if you want our commentary throughout, and it's going to be something to where we're excited about it. We're going to be having a couple brewskis over there at the brewery, and we're going to have a great time. So we're going to be going from 12 p.m. till 1-ish. I would say, you know, Butsy and I, we tend to get a little wild, get a little fresh. The drinks start flowing. Who knows? It might go for 2 hours. We don't know yet, but it will start at 12 p.m. Pacific time or Mountain Standard Time here in Arizona. So we're pretty excited about that. Keeping it moving, keeping it grooving. Butsy, you ready to go down memory lane for the Masters?
Yeah.
Let's just remind everybody.
This is our Kentucky Derby. Like, let's go.
This is it. Memory lane, folks. So let's talk a little bit about the top moments in Masters history. And this is for some of you that, you know, aren't necessarily or new to the Masters. I was actually out this weekend, and some of the guys out there are not big golfers. Some of them are not even golfers at all. We were out at a lake here in Arizona enjoying some boats and such. And sure enough, they're like, hey, I tuned into the podcast. It's really good. You guys are funny. We really enjoyed it. And sure enough, this is for the newcomers that, you know, maybe they don't watch golf on a consistent basis. Maybe they're new to it. So let's go down memory lane here with the Masters. And we got some top moments. So first off, let's start off with number 10, right? Let's start off with Louis Oosthuizen in 2012. Do you remember what happened there, Bonsi? Good old Louis.
Nope. I kind of have a top like 5 in my head, but what happened to Oosty?
Yeah, we're going to go over our top 5s in a little bit, but I wanted to kind of put out some of the big moments for everybody. So these are considered kind of the top 10 moments in Masters history, starting with Louis Oosthuizen's Albatross on number 2. Did it in 2012, fun fact. Now, number 9. Nick Faldo's Sunday comeback in 1989 and 1990. In 2 consecutive Masters wins, he defeated Scott Hoke in a playoff in 89 and Raymond Floyd in a playoff in 1990. Both were examples of how Augusta's back 9 on Sunday can turn into pure drama. Pretty cool, huh?
It's true.
Now, number 8. You'll remember this one. Bubba Watson's hook wedge in the playoff.
Oh.
Out of the trees, somehow hooks it 40 yards with a pitching wedge.
Was it a gap wedge or a pitching wedge?
I don't know, actually.
Gap wedge.
Let's see. Does it say it
because
in
he's
the
a lefty
notes?
and I like nerd out on that shit. I think it was a gap, but I think
It just said a wedge shot. So I think you're right. I think it was a gap wedge that he hit, but he curved it like 40 yards.
Yeah, put a blinker light on. Like, it was unbelievable.
Absolutely incredible. And that was in a playoff win over Louis Oosthuizen. So unfortunately for Louis, he's got the albatross and he's in here twice in two of the biggest moments, but not in one in a good way, one not in a good way. Now we've got Tiger Woods, his impossible chip on 16. Remember that one where all of a sudden the Nike logo turns perfectly right before the final drop. And then you had the most awkward high five handshake hug between him and Stevie Williams. That was fantastic. We've also got, and here's the tough thing. Greg Norman makes it on both sides. So he makes it in some of the greatest moments.
Where's Greg at in this?
And the worst moments or the biggest collapses. But his heartbreak in 1996 is one of the greatest moments where he lost a 6-shot lead on Sunday. And Nick Faldo ended up winning by 5 strokes. So there was an 11-shot swing there. Unbelievable. 2004. Phil Mickelson's leap for joy on the 72nd hole, making an 18-foot birdie putt. That is now his logo. Fun fact there.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of enjoy going down memory lane with some of this stuff.
He was still pretty wide then, too. And he launched that white body.
He got
pretty
up
there.
High.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like Woody Harrelson in White Man Can't Jump.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but it was pretty good. Yeah.
Larry Mize's miracle chip in 1987 in a playoff against Greg Norman and Seve Ballesteros.
And I was going to touch on this. That's one of my favorite moments. But what strikes me there, and again, I'm not trying to like go down the race road today, but it was the whitest guy celebration that they're probably like. It's before the fist pump. There was nothing cool about it. He was just like, yeah. It was like ZZ Top was playing in the background. He was like, oh, baby, yeah, I did. Like, it was just the fucking like, and it was a great like. It's like he couldn't even control himself. And just the whiteness came out there with his celebratory acts.
That is absolutely priceless, dude. Now, we also have Tiger Woods' first victory, our first major victory in 1997. He was 21 years old. I always forget about that he was that young when he won the Masters.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, it's just insane.
He didn't have that backlog of expectation, obviously, what he did, winning U.S. Junior, USAM, all that stuff outside of the PGA Tour back-to-back. But, and then he just arrived in great fashion. What did he win by? Like, how many did he win by?
Gosh, he won by then record 12 strokes.
Yeah.
He won by 12 strokes at the age of 21, dude. Like, could you imagine that today in the social media era that we live in? How insane that would be? Like,
I mean, dude, nobody was going at the golf ball like that then. Like, you can hear it in the broadcast when you go back and watch it. Like, he's hitting it on spots of the golf course with 3-wood that nobody else had ever seen before. And, yeah.
That's when Augusta National decided we need to tiger-proof this. Remember the term tiger-proofing a golf course?
Yeah, and it took like 10 more years for people to kind of start like that was the standard, right? To bomb it like that. And yeah.
Craziness.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Jack Nicklaus's historic Sunday charge in 1986.
86, yeah.
Dude, 46-year-old Golden Bear mounted one of the greatest back nine comebacks in major history. His eagle on the 15th and decisive birdies on 16 and 17 propelled him to a record 6th green jacket. Jack Nicklaus. Obviously, he had to be on the list, but pretty incredible. At 46 years old, we had never seen anything like it.
And he caught a bunch of heat for that too. He caught a bunch of heat for even being in the field. I think there's people saying he should let a younger guy in, like he's washed up, it's over. What are you doing? Taking a spot and yeah, sorry boys.
Sorry guys.
Nicholas, what are you talking about? Like
another great hot take by the pundits in the media. Now, Gene Saracen's shot heard round the world sits at number 1 in 1935 with a 4-wood from 235 yards on the par 5 15th. Saracen holed out for an incredible double eagle. The shot tied him for the lead, and he went on to win in a playoff.
I did not know that.
Isn't that? I just got chills thinking about. We're watching somebody come down the stretch at Augusta National. Hole number 15, they hole out on their second shot for a double eagle and then go on to win the golf tournament, which at that point, once again, it tied him for the lead with the double eagle. That's 3 shots.
This is 1935, you said?
Yeah.
You know how many people can't hit 4-wood 235 today?
I know. That is absolutely insane.
That's melted.
A good old precision wood. Or persimmon wood, an actual wood. It was made out of wood.
Sorry.
They did not make metal clubs back then, I don't believe, for the woods anyways.
No.
Obviously, irons were always metal. Now, let's go to the biggest collapses in Masters history.
Oh, God.
So, 1985, Curtis Strange lost a 3-shot lead on the back 9 to finish tied for second, 2 strokes behind now anchoring legend Bernhard Langer. So that should get Trot going in the background. There's been some, we posted a clip today on social media about Bernhard and from last week's episode talking about how, golf is such a rigid sport. How do they not call this on him and so forth? And there's been mixed reactions on that one, mainly that people want it called, but then you get people that just don't understand the rule. And some are just trolling. But it's been an interesting one on social media to watch. Now, in 1979, this is one I did not know. Ed Sneed. Okay. Remember the name, Ed Sneed. No idea he even played golf. Lost a 5-shot lead with 9 holes left. He finished tied for first in regulation, but lost in a playoff to somebody who got heat for a couple comments about Tiger Woods and some fried chicken that was going to be on the menu after Tiger won when he was 21, and that is Fuzzy Zeller.
Oh, Fuzzy did say that dumb shit, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He goes, oh, what's going to be on the menu? Fried chicken? A little racist. Just a bit.
Imagine that today. Oh, my God.
People would die.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. Ken Venturi in 1956 lost a 4-shot lead after 3 rounds, finished solo second, 1 stroke behind Jack Burke Jr. Wow. And listen, he did this as an amateur, it says. Venturi nearly pulled off a fairy tale win, but he shot 80 on a gusty final day, and Burke Jr. made up an astounding 8 strokes to win. All right, now we're going to get a little relevance here for the next 2. Okay, we got 3 left. Rory McIlroy 2011. 4-shot lead entering Sunday, finished tied for 15th. 10 strokes back of winner Charles Schwartzel, live golf guy, who happens to be in the field this week. What happened? McIlroy shot a final round 80, including a triple bogey on the 10th. That's where he hooked it all the way to the cabins on the left, which are deep in there. And sure enough, ends up losing that Masters, and he has not really sniffed it since. So one of the problems with Augusta National, you can absolutely be in love with it and have a ton of success, or it can steal your heart and crush it. Ask Greg Norman, ask Rory McIlroy so far, even though I do like Rory this week. Then in 2016, which I've got one of the tickets right behind me with it, is Jordan Spieth. I was there, and my little story that I like to share year in and year out is all of a sudden me and my buddy of mine are on the 15th. We're down by the water on the left-hand side, and all of a sudden This guy turns to us with the headphones on within the ropes and goes, I just got to tell you. He goes, just wait. Jordan Spieth just made a double bogey, hit it in the water on the 12th hole. He goes, wait till everybody sees this scoreboard change. And we're just sitting there like, is he fucking with us? Like, he's not telling anybody else. He just told me and a buddy of mine. And all of a sudden the scoreboard changes. And there were people that there were gasps, but there was like a cry as well. You could tell somebody had a lot of money on Jordan Spieth that all of a sudden that scoreboard switched and they just lost it. Like, ah! It was unbelievable. And the rest of the crowd was just like,
he shit on him saying.
The air was just gone out of the entire crowd. So that was Jordan Spieth. He ends up, now he bogeyed 10 and 11 heading into the 12th. Oh, you know what it was? It was not the double bogey that he told us. It was actually that he goes, Jordan Spieth has hit it twice into the water, is what he said. And that certainly quadruple bogeyed the par 3 13th, 2 balls in the water. And he was the defending champion, folks. So that was pretty nasty. And guess what? He hasn't regained it since his game, really. I mean, that's been the downturn for Jordan Spieth. And I wonder if he'll ever get it back. A lot of people say he's too good. He'll get it back at some point. Greg Norman, 1996, is the absolute winner for a collapse. 6-shot lead after 54 holes. Finished runner-up. 5 strokes behind Nick Faldo. He carded a 78, including missed putts and a water ball. Faldo's steady 67 sealed Norman's fate. It's often cited as the most famous collapse in Masters history.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that 20 for, or it was the, what are they called? 20 for 20s on ESPN?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if that's what it is. You might be right, but
or 30 for 30. It's 30 for 30, not 20 for 20. Greg Norman, there is one on him where he goes back to Augusta National and relives his collapses. It is phenomenal. If you watch it, you could just see the pain just coming out of him as he talks about it. Unbelievable.
That's that lives with you forever.
It really does. It really does. All right, it is time, folks. We've got our tour insider waiting in the realm. He is going to be coming on here. His name is Mr. Brent Grant. We're bringing him in to the Special Masters 2025 as we're going to go over our top moments, our top Masters moments. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Let's see if I can do this here. Here we go. We've got him on, and we're going to go to the famous triple screen. There we go. Mr. Brent Grant, how we doing? Actually, you're on mute. Let's see if we can unmute you here.
Guy looks like he's been practicing some golf or something.
Yeah, he's got like a Tom Cruise look to him right now. With the white tee, he's got the hair poking through the backwards cap. What's happening, Brent? There it is. Devro, baby.
Got the Dev.
Uh-oh. I don't hear anything coming from Brent right now. Let's see.
There's no audios.
No audio. He's trying.
Nothing. Oh.
How about now?
Woo, we got you. Yeah, there he is. Welcome on, Brent.
It's been a while. Sorry. I had to do a firmware update. You know how that screws up everything.
Oh, absolutely love that.
Alrighty.
As I was talking about, folks, here's the 2015 Jordan Spieth's on Masters flag. There are tickets underneath that you cannot see. This will get hung at some point. I didn't know how it was going to do with the lighting in here, but it looks like it's doing pretty well.
It's a beautiful piece of memorabilia.
That's nice, but I like the blue label better.
Yeah, the blue label definitely hits harder than some memorabilia, that's for sure. So let's kick it off here. Let's go over our top 5 Masters moments, and let's kick it off with you, Brent. What are your top 5 moments that you remember of the Masters in Masters history?
Well, they're kind of isolated with one individual. Tiger's win in 2019 is probably up there. And there were a couple things that happened during that week, specifically on Sunday, that are just kind of stand out to me. One of which is when he was standing on the 12th green, basically right in the middle of the green, as Molinari and Finau had to hit their third shots onto the green from the drop shot, probably like the hardest, 65-yard shot in golf, which is just an absolute baller move. And then anytime he's won or in contention coming down the 15th hole, that par 5, that club twirl every time he hits, 4-iron, 5-iron, 6-iron throughout history, probably the purest club twirl time in golf history for me. And then honestly, you guys kind of already covered a couple of them, but I love Jack's yes sir moment. It's obviously fantastic that he was doing that at 46 years old, and to win, I think that was what, the 16th or 17th major or something like that, right?
It's crazy.
Crazy.
And then yeah, Rory's straight up pull hook. I mean, that was one of my first memories actually of watching golf, and yeah, that one stood the test of time. Is quite possibly one of the worst golf shots and one of the worst moments of all time. I think he was leading by like 4 or 5 during the time as well. So
He was.
Yeah, it is crazy to me that when that happens to a player, because everybody wants the Masters so badly. Like they want to win majors, but they want the Masters. Like there's something about that green jacket that
Extra special.
It's so special. And when you lose it, it is crushing. And normally you don't come back from that. Just ask Greg Norman. He never won.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
Now, let's kick it over. So was that your 5 big moments?
I think it's 4 or 5. I think.
Okay, I love
it. Not for the suicidal.
Yeah, no, I had to try to mix in a little bit of teaching moments and also just in awe of the greatest Master champion of all time. So,
Butsy, what about you? What are your top 5 Masters moments?
I think there's one that doesn't get enough credit. I think he hit 5-iron from the pine straw, Phil, by the tree over the creek. Barely flew the fucking drink. Just given the moment. Obviously, Masters on the line. Pretty fucking sexy. I can't remember. Did he make the putt? You think he made the putt too?
Oh yeah, he made the eagle.
Yeah, he cashed the putt too. Obviously, if you're having a bad day ever, you just pull up Tiger's chip in. That's like that's the creme de la creme. The only thing that would have made it better is if they didn't cringe like it wasn't gonna go in. That part's really tough to me, where they're like, "Oh yeah," like where it looks like it's really. And imagine a different storyline in history where that ball stays there. Like,
Chris DeMarco's career would be different.
Oh my God! Like we're talking, yeah. So I honestly believe there was a point in Tiger's career where he could use his mind to alter the movement of the golf ball. I really do.
Jedi mind tricks.
It actually happens.
There was just so much clutchness when it needed to happen, and that obviously probably tops his list too. But yeah, the other ones I think we already covered. The 12-shot win was super badass. Jack winning, I think you have to respect that. And then the Mize chip in is great. And again, just the celebration killed it for me. But
wait, did it kill it or did it make it for you? Because you had a great reenactment of it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. He all but did like a front flip. Yeah, just really, really fucking very Caucasian in celebration after that chip in.
Gives me Mr. Rogers vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just yes. Like,
hello, neighbor.
But yeah, that's probably it for me, man. I mean, there's 100 other ones, but the ones that like live rent free in my head. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're my top 5. So mainly kind of the same as you, Butsy, which is a little weird, but Phil Mickelson shot out of the trees on the 13th hole. Absolutely phenomenal. That one ranks very highly for me because, believe it or not, growing up, I was a Phil Mickelson fan over a Tiger fan. Like I was rooting for Phil in those moments. I actually had a signed Phil Mickelson visor that I have no idea what happened to that. But that being said, his win and him jumping up and down was just massive. The year actually that David Duval, which Butsy doesn't like this at all, was wearing all navy blue. It was Sunday coming down. He was on the leaderboard. All the big names were up there, and he ended up losing. So that really stands out for me. Certainly, Jordan Spieth winning in 2015 stands out. We had just signed him a couple months earlier to a deal. And so actually had him sign this in his house in Dallas afterwards, which was pretty neat. Little flex there, as the kids call it. But realistically, my favorite two moments in Masters history is Tiger Woods winning and hugging his dad, and then in 2019 winning and hugging his son. Those two are just circle of life. I don't mean to get deep here on this podcast, but
it's good deep.
Man,
it's the Masters. It's good deep.
Gotten way deeper than that before. Fuck. We had Glennie on.
Yeah, that's true. It's giving me chills right now. Like my hair is standing straight up as I talk about it, but really is the circle of life. And it was very much so that nobody ever thought that Tiger Woods was going to come back and win in 2019. I mean, shit, I was sitting there crying with a buddy of mine to where it's like tears are just coming down, and like, you're just like, holy shit, this is such an incredible moment of Tiger winning and that roar that he gave. I mean, does anybody do a fist pump better than Tiger Woods, though, in the history of fist pumps?
I don't think so. No. I mean, Brent's a pretty good.
Brent's got a good one. You do have a good one. You actually do. I would put you in the top 10 for sure.
Brent's fist pump looks like he just like won a UFC fight. Like when he has like, I just knocked you out kind of. It's pretty deep. It's real deep.
Really get some vibes going there.
Real quick, in 19, when Tiger won, wasn't there another little slip up? I forget who was right there with him.
Molinari and Finau.
Didn't he hit the tree or some shit?
He did.
No, he went. Yeah, so he went in the water on 12.
But he was still in it.
Flipped the lead. Tiger had like a 1 or 2 shot lead. Tony was like 2 or 3 shots back, and then it just slowly but surely he just sort of separated.
And don't forget Brooks. Brooks was right there too, because Brooks was actually my pick that year.
Yeah.
And I was rooting for him coming down the stretch. My buddy was a lifelong Tiger Woods fan. We're in New York City in our shop, and we're watching it on the golf simulator screen. So we had it on like this 200-inch screen, watching the Masters, sitting in the chairs. And man, oh man, we'd locked the doors that day. We're just like, we're not taking any lessons, nothing. We are going to sit here and we're watching Tiger Woods in his last attempt. And it was awesome. But yes, so Molinari and I believe Brooks and Tony all hit it in the water on 12. Then Molinari on 15. Wasn't it the wedge shot in that he ends up clipping the tree?
I thought he pulled his drive just a hair. And he had to hit some sort of like,
he
just sort of shot up,
and then it came down and into the water. Yep.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Good call.
So Tiger birdied that obviously, and then
there it is.
The rest is history. The rest is absolutely history. But 2015 was also a phenomenal year as well.
Jordan almost isn't he like the first or second Masters winner ever to do it with like a triple or a double on the scorecard? Because in 2015 he had like a double on 12 or something like that, still ended up winning. And then the very next year was actually that same hole, only you double the score and it loses him the tournament.
Well, it's also pretty crazy that he had a chance to win all 3 years. So 2014 he was right there head to head with Bubba Watson.
Yep.
And Bubba just overpowered the golf course. Like that was one where it was like, oh, Jordan just doesn't have the length in order to compete with him at that point. Like you said, he's young. Then all of a sudden Jordan Spieth figures it out in 2015. And then it looks like it is absolutely a given that he's going to go back to back. And then the debacle on 12.
Yeah, just such a good putter. I mean, that's kind of what made. I mean, if you had to think about a guy that you would never want to play against in those 2 to 3 years, 14 to like 16, 17, that guy would be terrible to play against because you're just sitting there going, he's 50 feet away. There's no chance. Cash does it like 3 or 4 times in a day. You're like, there's nothing I can do about it. He can hit it everywhere. And it's like in the British Open. It's like, what are we doing?
So let's talk. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's get into our 2025 Masters analysis and breakdown. We've got betting odds, but I do want to talk about the golf course first, actually, because you're talking about it right now with him being such a good putter. But I feel like at Augusta National, those greens are so fast that you have to have such good touch, but they break a lot as well. They break very, very pure, but they break a ton. They're very undulating. Like, they're not easy to putt that well if you're not somebody that can visualize the break well. And I feel like there are guys that putt really well when a putt breaks a lot. And then there's guys that don't.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how to break that down by the field though. Like I don't know. I've never really paid attention to who's rolling it. Maybe Scotty doesn't putt so well when it breaks a lot.
No, I mean, for him, he's such an artist that I mean, obviously, winning back to back is going to be, an incredible accomplishment no matter what. And then if he does it this year, and he's my pick this year, I actually got Rory correct in the player, so maybe I'll be a little hot this year. But anyways, an artist like that, I mean, it's what makes Augusta so special, and that's why a guy like Jack, guy like Tiger, they're just such pure ball strikers, but in the moment they can get up and down from anywhere, and then obviously cash on the greens, and Scotty just comes alive. So I hope that's what happens.
It really does. And I think it actually helps Scotty that there's big breaking putts because he can feel it more so than a solid stroke, right? He struggles with those short putts to where they're a lot straighter. And I just think for Scotty that like Augusta National actually helps him actually visualize a little bit better. But there's guys that do putt really well at Augusta National. Then there's guys that just don't. Also, some things to note with Augusta National. This is a second shot golf course. This has been talked about for years. You can spray your drives. Tiger got away with so many wayward drives during his era that you can spray it because the trees aren't low. They're trimmed up. So you can play out of the pine straw. You can play from other fairways. You can get really creative. So it's all about the second shot, the approach shot. And that's the way that it was designed originally. Now, with that said, you got to have a great short game because if you miss a green, these greens are diabolical, super fast. So you have to have your short game dialed in. So approach shots, chipping, putting.
Silk.
That's where this
Big
tournament's
silk.
going.
Lots of silk.
And that's why, too, Jordan Spieth, he's never been the most accurate driver of the golf ball. However, you see him even in the years that he won, like the year that he won in 2015, he ends up being able to hit shots. I remember a shot that he hit on, what was it, hole 11 from the trees on the right-hand side. He just hit this squirter down there, got up by the green, got up and down, and it doesn't ruin a round. But that's a type of golf shot that if you spray it like that in a normal golf tournament, you're probably out of play. You might be screwed. You might be deep in the woods. So it gives somebody with a lot of creativity.
Did you say he hit a squirter?
A squirter. A low little squirter that ran. Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, I know where your head's at. Trust me. I understand. I love seeing a good squirter just like anybody. Now, as we move into the actual odds for this week, if you guys took a look at the show notes, I actually gave you every single player and all of their odds. And I'm going to go over the top guys. So we've got Scotty Scheffler, obviously at number one. He's plus 400. Rory McIlroy is plus 650. John Rahm plus 1,400. Colin Morikawa plus 1,600. Ludwig Oberg at plus 1,800. Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau at plus 2,000. Justin Thomas plus 2,200. Joaquin Niemann and Brooks Koepka at plus 3,000. Hideki Matsuyama at plus 3,300. Tommy Fleetwood, Victor Hovland, Jordan Spieth, Patrick Cantlay at plus 3,500. Shane Lowry plus 4,000. Terrell Hatton plus 4,500. Russell Henley plus 5,000. Bobby Mack, Cam Smith, Minwoo Lee, and Will Zalatoris at plus 5,500. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I love all of those guys at plus 5,500.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that. Corey Connors plus 6,000. Jason Day, Akshay Bhatia, Sepp Straka, Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia, and Tony Finau at plus 8,000. Wyndham Clark and Patrick Reed at plus 9,000. Keegan Bradley, Tom Kim, Justin Rose, Sungjae Im, and Daniel Berger at plus 1,100. I'm going to go deep with this. Fuck it. Matt Fitzpatrick, JJ Spawn, Sahith Theegala, Sam Burns, Davis Thompson, Phil Mickelson, Brian Harmon at plus 12,000.
I'm going to remember all this.
Taylor Pendrith, Aaron Rye, Adam Scott, Ben On, Mav McNeely, and Denny McCarthy at plus 15,000. Billy Horschel, JT Poston, Michael Kim, Cam Young at plus 17,000. Lucas Glover, Thomas Dietrich, Harris English, plus 20,000. Nikolai Hojegaard at plus 20, or Hoygaard at plus 22,000. Steven Yeager, Jägermeister, Laurie Cantor, Rasmus Højgaard, and Nick Taylor at plus 25,000. Charles Schwartzel, Max Grazerman at plus 27,000, or as Butsy likes to refer to him as, Timu Rory. We've also got Christian Bezadenhout, Joe Highsmith, Chris Kirk, and Kevin Yu at plus 30,000. Tom Hoagie, Austin Eckroat, Max Homa, Cameron Davis at plus 35,000. Nicholas Echeverria, Nick Dunlap at plus 40,000. Matt McCarty, Bubba Watson at plus 50,000. Davis Riley, Jonathan Vegas, and Matthew Pavon at plus 60,000. Adam Shank, Danny Willett, Zach Johnson, plus 75,000. Angel Cabrera, Brian Campbell, Thurston Lawrence, Rafael Campos, Bernhard Longer, the anchor man, Mike Weir, Freddie Couples, Pat Kazire, Jose Maria Olazabal at plus 100,000. That's a lot. But now, knowing what the odds are, this... knowing what they are, this close to the tournament starting in a couple of days. Butsy, last week you said you love Brooks Koepka. That's your pick this year. Ludwig Oberg was another. Akshay Bhatia and Keegan Bradley. Any changes to that lineup for you?
Well, I'm currently still processing the names that you just said, and I think I'm on I'm in between like 27 and 50 right now, and I'm kind of still trying to make a poll there. But I like Brooks.
Still liking him.
Still like Brooks. I
Love
like
that
Brooks.
for you.
I think we're going to see a pretty strong showing by the Live team, and then maybe that guy that just got out of jail, the old guy,
Angel Cabrera,
might just blow people away out there.
Okay, all right. Brent, how about you? This is your first stab at this for the 2025 Masters.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Scotty's my number one guy, but I would love to see Hideki Matsuyama get it done again. That's, by the way, my fifth moment is him winning and his caddy bowing to the flag.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Yep.
I do love that.
Love both.
You had a lot of respect for that.
Yeah. A lot of respect for both of them. They're really cool dudes. Speak perfect English, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
They do. It's been a media trick. A lot of people don't realize this. That Hideki Matsuyama just pretends like he doesn't speak English.
The big thing is they don't want to make a mistake. So they don't want to say something and then have it, be wrong.
Well, there's that,
those
and
Japanese,
there's also the savviness that you don't have to do media if you're not speaking English. So he gets away with so much because he just pretends like he doesn't speak it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty damn good. It's a great move. Even Phil Mickelson came out because he was obviously in the dinner to when Hideki Matsuyama gave the big speech, and he did it entirely in English, and every was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. They
couldn't believe it.
I walk up behind him at the Sony, and we're on the side of the range. He goes, "What do you think of my wedge?" I was like, I grabbed it. I was like, "Yeah, 100%." I grabbed it. I was like, "You don't like bounce?" He goes, "Nope." I go, "Then it's good."
I would be saying the weirdest shit just to fuck with people. I'd be like, I eat a 100%. Piece of bird shit on 13. And they're like, "Cut. We're not going to, you're done. Sorry." I eat the bird poop.
He's awesome.
Now, last week, I was talking about how I like Rory McIlroy. Also, obviously, like Scotty Scheffler. If you don't like Scotty Scheffler coming into the Masters with how he's been trending, then I don't think you've necessarily been watching. Justin Thomas is another one that I don't think I mentioned him last week. He's trending in the right direction. Almost won the Valspar. I always get the Valspar and the Valero mixed up, but I got to remember paint, oil. So paint comes first, then oil. So the Valspar, and that was the one that Victor Hovland won. I don't love Victor Hovland this week. There's something about his game right now that I don't love, but I do love Justin Thomas. Another one that I'm going to say it, and I'm just going to go with it this week because I'm going to be betting on him. Minwoo Lee. I'm going Minwoo Lee. I want to see it. I want to see the blow up into the stratosphere of popularity for Minwoo Lee. If he wins,
I think he's ready.
Listen, he won and he showed some signs of fear, but he got it done. Yeah, he did. And that's all that matters. Because once you get it done, it's off of the monkey's off your back. You end up being able to play a little bit more comfortably in that final round. And I think it's going to be awesome to see him playing well coming into the Masters. And he's got the game for it. Like, he bombs the golf ball.
Yes, he does. He's good putter, good short game too.
Great putter, great short game. Sprays the shit out of it, right? Yes, that's his one knock. And this is the golf course.
But you can do it, you said.
You can absolutely do it at Augusta National.
Justin Rose would be another guy that he always kind of seems to pop up in these major championships, and it'd be interesting to see if he got it done this week. I mean, he'd probably retire if he did, to be honest, which I would.
You don't like Max Homa? I heard he broke the record today for most range balls hit on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is he still playing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Him and Joe. By the way, we never announced this on the podcast. So I have a source that the whole drama between Max Homa and his caddy Joe Griner, they have split.
They are
no longer together. So
like good
apparently
buddies.
Joe Griner was the one who ended up firing Max Homa.
Oh.
And it all comes down to the fact that apparently when things are going wrong in Max Homa's world, he is a blamer. He blames everybody else except for himself. Mm-hmm. And then also that when he's not playing well, it's a super negative environment and nobody's happy. So he decided it is time and he has moved on, and there's some bad blood there. So just as a heads up, my source is close to this is the Joe Griner side, obviously. I don't have the Max Homa side, but I just know that some shit is going down.
That's unfortunate. They're really good buddies. I mean, they go way back. They're both, I mean, Joe was great on the tour while I was there, and he was a super nice guy. So for him to make that sort of a decision is that's tough. But I could see it. I played with Homa and I think him and Wyndham Clark in 2018 or whatever, and they were both playing bad, and it was miserable out there. So I can't even imagine.
Yeah. And apparently that is the word off the street with Max.
But he's sponsored by Lululemon. So hey, maybe the world really just, golf just doesn't matter anymore. He's a Lululemon sponsor now.
My dark horse this week is a guy that's been playing phenomenal coming in as well. Billy Horschel. I feel like Billy Horschel is potentially going to be the Chris DeMarco of this year.
Please stop.
I do. I love him.
Please stop.
I think he's going to do great. And he was clutch in the TGL. They won the championship there. So he's riding some momentum here. But guys, let's talk a little bit about the battle between the leagues. So we got the TGL League. We've got the Live Golf League. Okay. Now, there's people on both sides that say both aren't real golf. So this is the battle between the leagues that certain people say is not real golf on both sides. So who's going to have more players in the top 10? The TGL or Live Golf? And I will give you this caveat before you give your answers. There's 20 players playing in the Masters that are on TGL. Okay. There's 12 players from Live Golf that are playing. Why don't we start with Brent on his answer? Who's going to have more top 10s, TGL or Live Golf?
I'm sorry. So the guys that are currently top players in the PGA Tour versus the guys that are Live Tour players. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, that's going to be a real tough one. I think it's going to be the. Oh, I'm sorry, no, the TGL would be the correct answer, I believe, for 500. Alex, thanks.
Butsy, what about you? Because you've always kind of sided a bit with the live side.
Oh, I think Liv dominates the TGL and the Masters.
Jesus, here we go.
Yeah, I think so.
You forgot your troll hat.
You talking? No, I'm not trolling at all. I mean this. Like my dark horse is Patrick Reed. Okay,
That's pretty good.
He doesn't even play golf anymore.
Oh, he plays plenty of golf. All right,
Yeah.
he sends me videos of him playing golf every day. All right. That's not true, but yeah, I see Liv doing really well here. I think Cam Smith's going to be in the top 20. I think we're going to have a pretty good showing. I really do. I really honestly do. Everybody's like, yeah.
There is one guy that could even remotely compete. One, and he has not done well at the Masters.
Trot golfers with Butsy here. He says Patrick Reed, top 10.
Absolutely.
What's up, Trot? Long time no see, buddy.
It's one thing to shoot these guys down because they're playing bad. It's another thing to shoot them out of it because you just haven't heard from them because they're on the live tour. Like they still know how to. They're gonna show.
You know, there was what's that guy's name? He's from Spain. Sergio. No, the other guy. What's the other guy's name? John Rodriguez. No, Rahm. Yeah, that guy is the guy that won the Masters by like 4. Yeah, he disappeared.
John Rahm has not had a good year this year on Live Golf. So I was in preparation for this, by the way. I wanted to be as educated as possible. You know, I turned heel on Live, didn't want to watch any Live throughout the year. However, I've been catching up and I looked at the stats, went in, took a look at what they're shooting each round at each of the events, taking a look at all the guys that were in the Masters this year. And I got to tell you, I was not impressed with John Rahm's leading into the Masters, but the odds makers have him in the 3rd slot. Like he's plus 1,400 right behind Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler.
I think Liv's going to smoke TGL. They're going to smoke TGL. So they're absolutely going to kill him.
So I think everybody knows where I'm at with this. I am 100% TGL on this one.
Okay. By the way, speaking of turning heel on Live, I think the PGA Tour has also turned heel on Live. Have you seen that? Have anybody heard about this? Have you seen this?
It's not going through.
No, they denied the deal. I was standing on the TPC range and somebody was like, have you seen? Because I no emails have happened since they said they talked to, the big man. And so I just, it's on ESPN this morning. Oh, they denied a $1.5 billion. Oh. Okay, so it's going well then. That's great.
Oh, wait a second. I did not see this.
Yeah, ESPN.com. The PGA Tour denied, whatever, said no to a $1.5 billion deal mid to late last week. Obviously, nothing's going to happen this week because the only thing that matters is the Masters, and Masters owns all of golf. So
that's it. So let's stay focused because you're about to get a can of worms just absolutely open, Pandora's box. We'll get to that next week, maybe. But that is interesting. I did not hear that one, and I have not. I would expect that it would have blown up on X. Like I would have seen just post after post after post.
Well, they're kind of like I said. No emails have gone out. No press releases, no letters from Jay or anybody. So I think a lot of this stuff is sliding under the radar, as it says. By the way, speaking of sliding, what is happening to Butsy's face, Matt? Have you noticed what's going on?
He's got a magic carpet now. And I got to tell you, it's in solidarity with Keegan Bradley when he had his mustache going. I do believe that Butsy, it's just an absolutely phenomenal look for the man.
How are you pulling off Uncle Rico? I don't know how you're doing that. You couldn't be more of less of Uncle Rico, and yet at the same time with the mustache, you are Uncle Rico.
The mustache.
It's game time, man. This is just a sporting
mode
for me.
Pigskin over that mountain over there.
This is a sport mode thing for me, and I'm in it. I'm in.
Well, Butsy's got to get ready for his TGL debut.
Absolutely. Got my my debut is on the horizon.
We're trying to do something with that, aren't we, Butsy?
And what's that?
I said they're trying to do something with that, huh?
What do you mean?
He's already in.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's big. Like I'm hearing from like multiple people. It's like a big deal. I'm
We just
excited.
need to sell some tickets, man. And
I'm excited.
my
I'll come out.
brother's caddying for me.
Oh,
And when he
thanks.
was
Cool.
out there
Awesome.
and he had the stash going, and I feel like I had to match him, and it's sport mode, and we're both in sport mode now, and we just look like killers.
You look younger and yet older somehow.
I like that.
It's impressive.
So Phoenix United is just like the Yankees. Well, the Yankees have lifted their facial hair policy, but Trot's throwing out there that you're kind of looking like the Yankees.
Do they really?
Now with the mustaches.
Phoenix United has
Right, I'm gonna dye it black.
They forced him to shave.
That's fantastic.
I'm gonna dye it black too.
Yeah, you
Please
should
do.
absolutely dye. You could be like, what's his name? Oh, back in the day, he had the black mustache. Famous actor. Burt
The
Reynolds.
goal is to, while we're on the subject,
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck, Burt Reynolds.
Once we cross this barrier right here, and I can start keeping some like
Don't
wax
do
on me
that.
during the day and
Don't
curl
do
it.
that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, I want to look like a curveball pitcher from like the 20s here and pretty soon. So
Eckersley.
yes. That's it.
Yeah,
You hit it on the head.
that is the vibe.
Plus, he has no idea who that is.
I know who
Yes, he
Dennis
does.
Eckersley is.
But as I was looking at the live golf side of things, I will tell you guys that we're actually coming into this week that we're trending. So Joaquin Niemann, he's won twice so far this year. You've also and Joaquin Niemann, for whatever reason, does not play well at Augusta National. He'll finish in the top 25. I feel like maybe top 30, but he'll be towards the back end of that. I don't know if he's one of these guys. When I brought up guys that putt well on undulating and big breaking putts, I don't know if Joaquin Niemann is one of those guys. So unfortunately for Joaquin, I got him out of the top 10. Bryson has been Bryson. Bryson never plays great on live golf outside of the one time in West Virginia when he shot a 58. That was the only real time that I remember Bryson doing anything big out there. Brooks Koepka has played well. He's been up there. Terrell Hatton. Cam Smith has not.
I bet
Dustin
Phil
Johnson.
plays good.
Dustin Johnson has not played well. Phil Mickelson has actually had the best year on live out of his entire time on live.
He looks great. Like I think he might have a week.
I think it's all those lessons from Grant Horvat.
Probably.
I think that's what it is.
Just getting smooth, baby.
He's just so good. He's so good at golf.
Then you got Sergio Garcia, who has been playing some balls.
Please stop.
But here's the thing. Liv and Brooks talked about it. Bryson talked about it. Actually, Bryson talked about it more than Brooks. The golf courses that they're playing, Bryson wants to see them be harder golf courses because they're too easy. And Doral was one of the best ones that, so Doral was a real test heading into the Masters, but that was won by Mark Leishman, who is not in the Masters.
Tyrrell Hatton won a European event, didn't he? Earlier this year.
I believe you're right.
So technically, he is the most recent full field winner from Live.
You know what I do love about the Masters, though? It is proven time and time again, even if you're not playing great, if you have history at the Masters, you can come in and change your entire year at Augusta National.
Well, it's like you said earlier, man, the conditions of the golf course are solely unique to that place. And if you've gotten it done there before, you know a little something, like, plus you have the confidence. I would imagine that's helpful.
100%.
What are the players that they just show up out of nowhere at the Masters?
Phil's done it.
Phil's done it for sure.
Sergio was not playing great when he won, right before he won the Masters. He had played
nobody
there so
had
many
Tiger
times.
winning that tournament that year.
Bubba Watson, for one. He wasn't playing well going into his second Masters win. You've got...
But guys,
Brooks Koepka just happens to just show up when majors happen.
Just a major guy, yeah.
So he's just a major guy. You can't really take that for anything.
Dustin's had a couple of. I mean, he won the Masters, so I mean, obviously he knows how to play.
Yeah, but
golf.
he won it in November. He won it on
Did he win
soft
the
conditions.
2020?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't
COVID
think
Masters.
Dustin Johnson
You don't
wins
does it
a
count?
Masters unless that happened.
Because see, so that bullet cut, man, it can be freaky when things get firm.
Yep. I'm trying to think of other guys, but that's a pretty good list of guys that weren't playing well coming into the Masters and then competing.
Yeah,
I don't hate the Justin Rose take by Brent either.
Dude, I'm
I don't
telling you,
either.
he plays well there too. I mean,
Yeah, and he's
he plays
far
really
from
well.
done.
No, God, he would retire if he won that though. Man,
Yeah.
I would.
I look at a guy like Tommy Fleetwood. I don't know if Tommy Fleetwood is a great pick at Augusta National, but you know, one that is a kind of a sneaky pick right now. I mentioned to you guys, I love the guys at plus 5,500, which was Bobby Mack, Cam Smith, Minwoo Lee, and Will Zalatoris. And by the way, Cam Smith is one of those guys that didn't play well in his first year of LIV, came to Augusta National and played pretty damn well. But Will Zalatoris is a guy who his very first Masters came in second. Yes, he has short putting issues, but if you watch Will Zalatoris, his ball striking is so good when it comes to his approach shots that I feel like that's one of the reasons why he has played so well there. What did he do? He finished second his very first Masters, and then his second Masters, I want to say he was top 5, or he was top 5 in his first, and then his second one he was second. Is that right?
So he got his immediate jump from the Korn Ferry Tour, and then I think in 3 of the 4 majors or something like that year, 2021 or 2022, I think he placed top 10 in all 4, but 2 or 3 of them he placed top 3. I mean, he shows up because he is such an elite ball striker. The problem is when you start missing putts like that, even if your short game's on, if you're hit it to 3, 4, 5 feet, and you're missing those, those are 2, 3, 4 bogeys around that you just can't really survive out there if it's playing easy. If it's playing hard,
I think Zalatoris does well though on big breaking greens. I think that's part of it.
Yeah,
because when you struggle on short putts, especially ones that are a little bit straight, that's a little bit of the yippiness. But when you have to play breaks in those putts, guys tend to do a little bit better when it comes to that. And Will Zalatoris happens to be one of those guys potentially. So I do like Will Zalatoris coming into the Masters, even though he hasn't been playing well. And again, Cam Smith with his putter, and he has played well at the Masters in the past. So
great.
I talked to a buddy this morning that brought up a good pick that I don't hate either, is Robert Mackey. I don't hate that.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Lefties have such an advantage at Augusta National. I want to say that one of the big publications just came out with an article about lefties and the advantage.
That does not apply to me because I fucking okay. But if you're a lefty that hits a fade, it's pretty nice for you out there.
But that's always been a debate, right? Like what shot shape works best at the Masters. And I mean, the guys who have won the most Masters faded. So, I mean, is it really? But then again, like you look at Bubba, he can move it both ways, but he won it with hitting a hook. So that was left to right, obviously. But that's crazy. I never even thought about that until you just said Bobby Mack. I mean, he's hungry, man. He's dangerous. He's super dangerous.
He can play some golf.
I just don't know how well he'll play at Augusta National. We're going to find out.
No idea. Minwoo Lee has played several. So, I mean, he's definitely, I don't know who he has on the bag. I mean, obviously, we've seen what Ted Scott has done with his 2 Masters champions. I think he's got 4 under his belt now. So, the looper is huge there. That's an understated piece of information, that the looper is probably 65 to 70% of what those guys get done out there is dependent on the caddy.
I fully agree.
That's according to Pepsi, but that's whatever.
Makes sense.
It does.
Yeah. Super serious.
Well, fuck yeah, boys.
We got through
I'm pumped.
The 2025 Masters Special presented by Pull Hook Golf is in the books, folks. I mean, that was pretty gosh darn solid, if you ask me. I was pumped all week for this. I normally don't get nervous for episodes anymore, but because this is
because
episode
I was coming on.
168. And before the show, I was like a little kid. I was running around, just kind of a little bit excited, just like little like nervousness to the whole entire thing. And I just love the Masters. It's such a big deal. And it is the one week, the entire year, that I love the absolute most. There is not, in my opinion, I asked this to X as well, or Twitter, and sure enough, it was overwhelmingly that there is not a better week in golf than Masters Week.
And they upped the coverage this year too, right? Like you're going to be able to watch every shot hit on the driving range with a Pro Tracer. Like way more fun for the fans.
Way more. Augusta National's putting in a ton of money. Tiger Woods is going to design a municipal course out there and have it be more access for lower income families and so forth. So pretty cool stuff that Augusta National does on a year-by-year basis. And Fred Ridley's done an absolutely incredible job being the chairman of the board there at Augusta National. And folks, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and let's give a shout out real quick before we hop off to our sponsors, Devereux Golf. Make sure to go to DevereuxGolf.com. That's DEVEREUX golf.com. Utilize the promo code PullHookGolf20. That's PULLHOOKGOLF20 all together for 20% off your entire order at DevereuxGolf.com. And if you enjoyed tonight and want to hear Butsy and I get after it with a live companion broadcast, we're going to be doing that from 12 p.m. until 1 p.m. at Goldwater Brewery. You can chime in on Millions.co, Rumble, YouTube, and good old Twitter, or what they call now as X. And can't wait to get that going. Drivebox is going to be there. They've got special beers specifically made for Devereux Golf. There's going to be giveaways. A lot of just a great time if you are here locally. If not, you know, pop on the Masters, press mute, and go ahead and pull us up as your live companion to the Masters on Saturday. Well, until next time, folks, peace out. A-Town down.